Okay, good morning again. Okay, we're going to continue. So I have my little label and I did a little stamping on it. Normally I would address this so that if I blow it, it's not already adhered to the front of my envelope. So, but I don't want to do that. I'm not going to expose someone's mailing address on here. So I'm just going to adhere it. So I decided this would be the front and this will go here. So I just take some kind of a little, you can use a glue stick, whatever. You are going to sew through it, so you don't want it to be too gooey, but you will change your needle in your sewing machine. Do not use that needle when you're sewing clothing or anything with fabric. Okay. So I put it there. Can you? Maybe that will work. So I have this great variegated thread, kind of rainbow colored thread, and I've had it for years. And I've never used it for sewing clothes. I make my stitch not too small, not too short, or you will end up perforating your paper. So I go backwards a little bit and then forward. I go just in from the edge. A machine where if I press the presser foot with my heel, my needle stays down, and that is a wonderful feature to have in a sewing machine. I went off that corner a bit. Back a little bit. I should put my scissors over here because I don't like using that thread cutter on the machine. Okay. So that's what it looks like. So far. Okay, so this is the front. So I want my flap to be hooked to the front, and then it's going to, be glued onto the back. So what I want to do is I turn it over, and sometimes if they're not cut, if the flaps aren't cut perfectly straight, then when you go to flip them over, they kind of catch. So what I do is I leave a little bit of room, like that. And I just take a piece of masking tape. There Try not to get all caught up in it. That's probably a little bit too much room. There we go. And you can just tear off these ends. You don't want to have them going towards the front. I should have scissors over here, but I don't. Okay, then you choose your washi tape. So I have lots. I have a friend in Missouri who sent these to me in Happy Mail. A really wonderful Happy Mail. Usually that kind of thing isn't sent. So, but I'm going to use this one. And so I'm going to try to center it on there. I'm going to pull that off a little bit over the edge, and then when I get over there to my scissors, I can trim that up. Okay, so I'm going to sew. So, and with this part, I use a zigzag stitch. Let's see. Okay, I do a zigzag stitch on both sides of, you know, where they're hooked. And just make your stitch. You probably could have been wider. Don't worry about going backwards at the end of your seam or the beginning, because those ends are going to be sealed in. And your machine will sound really weird a lot of times when you're sewing on paper. Okay, do you see that? Okay, so this stuff will be trimmed off. We're getting there. Okay, so you can do the same thing. Just mark. You can do the whole thing or not. You know, all your edges, or just like this. And then I line these up. This kind of thing doesn't matter because it's going to be covered with washi tape. You want your ends and things to be trimmed before you do this part. Okay, So then I want that straight. I position the tape so that it's about half, so that the edge of the envelope takes up about half the piece of washi tape. And I trim off the end and put it to the back or the front, whichever way we're going. I guess this is the front. And I go ahead and do the other side. And I just go up so I kind of feel it's going crooked. There, that's better. And I go up to the midway point there, as close as I can. Turn it over. Okay, and then I go ahead and do this end. And you can tell sometimes if you turn it over, then you can tell how straight you got it. This gets a little bit narrower down here, but that's okay. And there you go. Okay, now I'm going to come over here to sew it. I'm sorry about all this movement. I just downloaded software yesterday for editing photos. So of course I have not used it very much, so I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, I'm going to make this a little bit wider, my stitch a little bit wider because, because that is a little wide. And I want it pretty much to reach pretty close from side to side. Gets a little bit narrower. Keep my needle down. Oh, are you kidding? Oh my goodness, I ran out of bobbin thread. I'll be back